Mhm.
Hello.
Hi.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Yes, Amy.
Yeah, I'm excited to see.
Look who's here.
I know, Michelle. I just saw her video this morning. It is great. So nice to have you here.
So good to see y'all.
Yeah. I'm feeling a little tired. So if I seem low energy compared to last night I was like super high energy. But don't worry. I'm sure once Angela starts doing her presentation, I'm gonna get all excited. Knowing me.
So, my Monday, actually, I was very busy at work today, so my day went by super fast, which was good. But it also meant that I was stuck at my desk the whole day and didn't get to walk around much.
Mm-mm.
So I'm going to be feeling it in my back later.
Oh, yeah.
Amy says you should put your hat back on.
I can't put hats on when I have Gidget 1 and Gidget 2 in. Nothing fits on my head with these things attached.
I wore a hat yesterday. I had on one of my berets yesterday because it was chilly here. We had a
Oh,
freeze warning overnight.
yeah, we had snow. And I mean, it was nicer temperature today, but I've been inside. I
And I
was
had my
telling.
hair in braids
Oh,
from the
did
day
you?
before.
Uh-huh.
And I slept in it. So, but they like the braids were still great. But up here, like it was a little fuzzy.
Oh, yeah.
And in my car, I just have random things because you never know when you might need something.
Right.
And the beret matched my outfit perfectly. So I just put it on so that
Perfect.
the braids are hanging. I felt cute.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the older you get, the more your car turns into a Mary Poppins carpet bag where you just have
Oh, yeah.
all the extra things that you think you might need, you have in the
I
car.
am a pack rat. I
Yeah.
like being prepared
Mhm.
for anything
Mhm.
and everything.
All the things.
Also called anxiety.
Yeah,
But
totally. Yeah, you could call it that.
so like I have shoes in there just in case something happens to a shoe, like
Mhm.
both functional and like pretty but nondescript, so could wear with pretty much anything.
Mhm.
I'm sure there's gloves, scarf. I have these grippy things that go on your bottom of your shoes in case it's icy.
Uh-huh.
I mean, those could be seasonal, but if I take them out, I'll forget to put them back in.
Right.
So I have a tote bag that I just keep. And anytime I probably have a lot of toothbrushes in there now because anytime I go to the dentist and they give you a toothbrush and the little tiny toothpaste, I just keep it in my car because I'm like, what if I go somewhere and I don't pack my toothbrush?
Yeah. That's what I do with the little floss they give you is I put those they're randomly in different spots in the car.
Yeah. That's in the I just take the whole bag because it's a little Colgate bag usually, and it's got
Yeah.
there's a lot of little Colgate bags because I go twice a year,
Mhm.
it adds up. But it came in handy because this trip I took this weekend, I forgot my toothbrush. And you know what? I could run right out to my car
Yeah, you did.
and get a toothbrush and toothpaste.
Sanford and Sons truck. Oh.
We all do funny things. I do more than most, but it's fine. Or their junkyard. Yeah. It's not junk though, if it's useful or pretty or I can justify it all. Don't worry. Real good at it.
Yeah, I think we're all very capable of justifying our accumulations.
Self-delusion or romanticizing your life.
Yes.
Which one is
It's all, accurate,
it?
really.
You know, your reality is how you perceive it. Might as well make it fun.
You might as well.
But I think we should dig in
Yeah,
because my
do it.
history highlight went off the rails slightly, but hopefully y'all understand why once I get started. And I'll try not to talk super fast because I always do this. I think the history highlights and then we have 10 minutes at the end. But I have follow-up questions should that happen for the
Okay.
audience. So let us begin with your inspiring
Okay.
interior.
I I just decided I liked the green floors and then tried to find another floor that was also kind of similar. Um, I don't
At
know
first
I
I
don't
thought it
know
was
what you
like I was
call
like, "Oh, it's like a hallway to a rounded door." That's what we're looking.
No, it was the floors, but
And
what do
yours
you
agree.
is I don't know if there's a specific name for this where it feels like
Like the
there's a
remnants
like
or
there
broken.
yes, yes, like there's a lot of broken pieces. Um,
I'm
I'm
gonna
not
do
sure.
this in my side yard.
Yeah, but in both of these pictures, I really liked it.
Except
Um,
it's gonna be like patio, not floor.
mhm. But I wonder if I had it I guess the thing is if you have a magnificent house, I think it can take something like this, but just in my regular house,
It
it
might look
probably
like you
right.
had an accident.
Just yeah, it just might look like poop. So it's probably the grandeur of the homes that allow for the broken tiles to somehow, like, work for me.
Or the location, because the one on the right looks tropical.
Yeah.
Not like I mean, you don't care what it looks like when you live there, right?
Mhm.
Like, I need a house. That's it. The outside takes care of the rest.
Yeah.
It's good, but it is pretty.
Yeah. It is.
Okay. So I have a medium mustache inspiring interior. She popped up on my For You page for this reel specifically, but she has a lot of fun little reels about historic houses that she's selling and the fun little quirks that can be found in them. So it's a real estate agent. So there's also, if you need tips about buying a house or whatever, she's got that too. But this reel in particular was fun because she found these nichey little things in this 1928 house. And if you look on the right, it was a
Mhm.
special built-in drawer purely for the rolling pin.
That's adorable.
Isn't that fabulous? And I have her name on the next slide. So Kelly McHugh Lopez. So it's did I cut off her name? Well, it's
I see it up there.
yeah, but not her. I didn't put her handle.
Oh.
So it's just the latter half of her link in bio. So Kelly Lopez underscore LBCRE.
Mhm.
If you want to look her up.
Yeah.
Or I can also I'll just drop it in the comments because I'm right here.
Is this in Florida? Where is this?
She's in California,
Oh, is she?
Long Beach. So
Oh.
a lot of really cool mid-century homes, um, stuff like that. Here is Hey Catherine.
Catherine.
So this is the same house. So there was a special niche built for the phone, and in the door above was a very special a place for the phone book, which closed and hid it. But then she's pulling out the fold-in seat for when your phone calls got too long.
That's wonderful.
I have a little charging station with my little because those cords are never long enough for you to sit somewhere comfortable while you're charging your phone, you know.
Yeah. So does where her hand is, where the phone is sitting right there, is that something that drops down or that ledge,
The
just
shelf with the phone is
is
stationary, it just stays
stationary?
there, but the seat folds up flat
Okay.
into that wall piece. I was like, "Oh, I love it." So, there is the link to her Instagram. Lots of cool like, she has this 1928 Spanish colonial revival, she has a few reels on, and the most recent one was like, "Is this house haunted?" I didn't get to watch it all, but I'm gonna go back
Hi, honey.
and do so. Hi, Scott. So yeah, check her out.
So I couldn't find someone who had an awesome photo of a collection of their snails, but I still wanted to celebrate collecting snails. So I found some cute snail photos just because
You
I
should
think
include an escargot spoon.
I should have. Yeah, I almost thought about that, like something with like a snail shell, but I just think it's an awesome collection to have. I have two cool snails. They're not like put together or anything, but there is something about a cute snail, and even if it's not cute and it's pretty, like the cloisonne.
I
Love the
know, and it's even got snails on the cloisonne.
yeah,
It's a snail on snail
it is.
cloisonne. Love it. I
Yeah.
like the sparkly eyes on the one. Is it a trinket box?
Yeah, it's a trinket box of the two snails sitting on a log.
I don't think snails sit that way, but I'm okay for it. Well,
Uh,
Catherine's first vintage flip was a Snappy the Snail tea toy.
oh.
They're cute. They're real cute. I remember the only memory I have that includes a snail that didn't like make my skin crawl.
Mhm.
Because they're well, no, I've eaten them. They're tasty. Is I was in Romania. We were on top of a hill going into this fortified church, and we went in and we came back out, and it looked like I thought it had rained because at first it looked like like raindrops, but then I realized it was all on a line, and then it became like complete because
Mhm.
there was a snail like a this big
Oh my gosh.
making its way, and it had just like dried patchily his slime up until it got like closer to where he was. And it
Oh.
was just, it's just one of those things you remember that's just really weird.
So you're not into the slimy creatures?
No, I'm not. I did rescue a snail once out on one of my branches, but
Mhm.
that was it. So speaking of, bugs in your garden, I could have put this under dandy DIY, but
That's great.
I got to my ingenious idea slide first. So
This is ingenious.
I I am a pangolin. It's a meme joke. So, because I love those bug tents that you can buy at the store, but
Mhm.
they're always so short.
Yes.
And if you're having a fancy garden party, you're gonna have a tiered tray. How are you gonna protect it? You're gonna take a lampshade that looks terrible, rip it off, cover it in tulle, bedazzle how you like, and protect your baked goods.
I think this is the best idea I've seen in a
I am
long
gonna do this
yeah.
100%. Not just bugs, like, I might use this in my house for my cats,
Mhm.
because my cats, they go wherever they want
Right.
because 'cause they're cats, but if I had something I could put on it, of course, I'd
Mhm.
have to weight it because they're
Right. The
strong.
cats would just either claw into it or, like, flip it over.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah, something like
pretty
this is
dope.
perfect, for the area where I live. I mean, if we ever eat outside, there are so many wasps in the
Mhm.
area that get really attracted to the food.
Wasps, bees, even just bits of leaves if you're somewhere that is treed, you
Mhm,
know, there's debris that flies around,
mhm,
especially on windy days, but
mhm.
so, yeah, I just had to share it because I'm gonna
I'm
do it,
so glad you did.
and tulle is so cheap,
Yeah,
like, you can get that anywhere.
yeah.
Alright, if y'all do this, we need pictures. I wanna see it because 'cause I'm gonna do it. I'm hoping I have some really cool trim for the bottom. That's on my
Yeah, I
list.
mean, that one's finished really nice for sure.
It is nice, yeah. And she does her if you go to her Instagram, it's a full tutorial,
Okay.
this reel. So, you
Awesome,
can do it.
awesome. Okay.
Ocean to table. Wow. Kim popped in.
Hi, Kim. Hi, Jennifer. Yeah, I just thought this is like an old school crafty DIY thing that I thought we should bring this back.
Mhm. I have a massive plate with a lady on it that I think should be a clock.
Yeah. Yeah, I was into it. I
But,
was into
like, when drilling any pottery, use a diamond drill bit and water, y'all. If you don't wanna crack it and make for a very bad day.
it. Well, I mean, you wouldn't it has to be an expendable plate or, you wouldn't be
Oh,
drilling a
yeah,
hole
but
into it anyway.
still, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you don't wanna crack it. You do in a hole.
Yeah.
I
Or
love
have
anything.
a practice plate. Make sure you got it down before you do the plate you
True.
want to do.
And in my experience, if you drill it from the back, most plates have a little lip,
Mhm.
and so you just fill that up with a little bit of water and drill through the water, then you're not
Yeah.
trying to add water as you're doing it, and the plate itself holds the water there for you. I've drilled a lot of plates in my life. Anyway. Next. Oh, you have fabulous food.
Oh, yeah, I just saw I have bird cages everywhere. I mean, all over my dang house, and I have a lot of things in them. I mean, the one in the kitchen has
Mhm.
florals inside of it, but I loved this one on the left, the pink one, where they're all on that kind of exterior, almost like the bird cage is a trellis kind of for the bunches of flowers,
Mhm.
as if they're kind of climbing or growing on the outside of it, and I liked that. I have not done that with any of my bird cages, and now I want to.
Are the flowers on the left dried?
They might be, like, they might have been something
Some of them look
where they
yeah,
had flowers, would stick it in and let them dry there, you know what I mean?
okay.
But
That's pretty.
either way, I still liked the effect of how it looked kind of like a climbing trellis almost on
Mhm.
the cage.
It's very pretty. Both would go very nicely at a fairy party.
Mhm.
Mhm.
They would.
Speaking of. So I went with, like a fairy garden theme
Yeah.
for tablescapes. This one, now it was for a wedding, so it's over the top, but
Yeah.
look at the just all the flowers. And look at the space.
Yeah, I mean, if you're inviting fairies to dinner, this is the kind of table they would want to go to.
Mhm. So many places for them to rest.
Yes.
I liked the, variety of blue candles sticking out, um, but it was just made me dream, and this one is a little quirkier, but I really like the black and white,
Yeah.
mixed with the florals.
Mhm.
This is more like whimsy garden
Hey,
than
Karen.
fairy tale garden. Hi, Karen. Hi to Gavin if he's there. And then, so yeah, with the black and white chargers, the black and white candlesticks, and the large vase. I just like the mix of
Yeah,
the graphic with the floral. Very 80s, but
I like it. It's
it's
good.
good.
It's
I
good.
really like those garden chairs too. I'd like to know where they come from. See these? Looks like hearts.
Mhm.
Anyway.
Yeah, I usually see those kinds of chairs in white.
Yeah.
Okay, so I chose an inspiring exteriors Basically because of the growth kind of on a tiered level. So on the
Mhm.
left, you've got stairs. And we might not have, kind of like this kind of English setup, but a lot of times we might, or at least in the suburbs here, there's a lot of homes that are walkouts. And so you have stairs on the side of the house. And I was thinking like it's inspiring to think of like, oh, well, what if I put a whole bunch of pots and kind of tried to make the stairway full of greenery as you're going down or
Mhm.
up the stairs, and then on the right, it's the smallest terraced garden, but I loved it.
It's so cute. It's so
It's so
cottage, like,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah, I mean, usually when I think of a terraced landscaping or garden, it's kind of like on a larger level. This is just like
yeah.
a little teeny terraced garden. And I think it's
I so wanna
so pretty.
terrace my little hill.
Mhm,
I have to tell I have to tell my landscape architect.
mhm.
Mm. And add that blue door. I
I
should
know,
yeah. I just wanna jump into that picture on the right.
I know, I know. You just know that there's a comfy floral upholstered chair waiting on the other side of the
Mm.
door with tea and biscuits
A
and
fireplace if it's
yep,
evening and a little chilly.
yep, you know what's behind that door.
You've got your house shoes for to slip into after your muddy boots.
Mhm.
Mm, that's a good day. Well, are you ready to learn something new?
I am ready. I'm on pins and needles. I really am.
First, we have to talk about this lovely lady. Her name was Kathleen Morrison. She was born August 19th of 1899. She um, screen tested with W.D. Griffith um, when she was 15 and got a part. She started out with very small parts in silent films. Um, she wasn't sure she would get it because she has heterochromia, which is funny because if you pay attention to these photoplay magazines that I have, they give her two brown eyes, but she had one brown and one blue eye in reality.
Mm.
But in black and white movies, as long as it looked close enough,
Yeah.
not a big deal. Do you know who D.W. Griffith is?
Um,
Little controversial. He did The Birth of Nations and what was that other one? His other one won a bunch of awards, but The Birth of a Nation is very problematic, shall we say.
mhm.
But once she got to Hollywood, she changed her name, as they always do, to Colleen Moore. And I can't remember if it was one L or two L's. Yeah, Catherine, that one. So, but she became very wealthy. So, you know how the bob haircut was so popular in the 20s?
Was it
She,
her?
she was the reason for the bob.
Oh, wow.
She starred in approximately 64 films between 1917 and 1934. Most of them are lost to time, as many silent films were. They just didn't survive. It was on very flammable
Yeah.
and delicate material. So her most famous role was in a film called Flaming Youth, of which only one reel survives, which I think is about 11 minutes, which was at the height of her popularity. She was making $12,500 a week then. That is not switching to inflation. And so again, that's why when she had her bob, everybody got the bob.
Oh, wow.
But she wasn't just a pretty face. She was very astute with her money, and her life. I didn't go into like her personal. She was married 4 times. You know how stars are.
Mhm.
um, and oh, we have Flaming Youth first, but F. Scott Fitzgerald at the time wrote about her. I was the spark that lit up Flaming Youth. Colleen Moore was the torch. What little things we are to have caused all that trouble. So I had never heard of Flaming Youth, but apparently it was risque.
Oh, and it's only 11 minutes?
Well, that's all that survives.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. Just one reel of the entire movie, because back then, movies, depending on the length, they were multiple reels, and that's why, they had to, "Let's go down to the lobby so we can change the reel." So, this is another image from Flaming Youth. I don't know, there's an older man, there's a younger woman, there's a lot of things happening, but, in Echoes of the Jazz Age, he said it captured the sexual revolution of the jazz age. So,
Okay. So it was about the partiers, the party time
yes.
gals.
So this is what, like, led to, like, fla people are like, "Oh, flappers are, and then
Mhm.
every other movie about flappers is trying to live up to this one
Okay.
and failing because it was the epitome. And apparently it's based on a book. The book is a lot more risque than the film was because censorship. Um, but I wanna check it out. Um, as I said, not just a pretty face. She was an astute investor and she loved miniatures from early in her lifetime. These two interests led to the subject of tonight's history highlight. This is just backstory, y'all. She held on to and grew her wealth. In the 50s, she wrote a book on stock market investing became a real estate broker and a partner at Merrill Lynch, the Merrill Lynch.
Mhm.
Um, but she took that fortune and she invested a huge chunk of it into her eighth and final dollhouse. I present to you Colleen Moore's Fairy Tale Castle.
How big is this?
Oh, we're getting there. With the help of her Hollywood friends and interior designer Harold Grieve, she began construction on it's approximately 9 foot square.
Oh.
I found one source that said the tower is 7.7 feet tall, but then another said it was 12 feet tall, the tallest tower. So we're talking big. Um, and she would add pieces to it from when it was starting to be built until her death in 1988. And you can see it today because it's been on display at the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago since 1949. At that point, they estimated it was worth $7 million.
Wow.
And that was in 1949. I don't know what it's worth now, but you'll see why. So here's
Oh
her
my
in the
gosh.
garden. She intentionally did not put any dolls in it because she wanted it to be a place for fairies to inhabit.
Oh.
She came from a strong, Irish background, I believe. And the Fae were.
Oh my gosh.
So by 1935, approximately 100 people had worked on the fairy tale castle. And the price tag that she paid at the time, where it contained over 1,500 miniatures, was nearly $500,000.
Holy crap.
Yeah, that's what she put it. And it was all her money. She just did it because she wanted to do it. This She was a woman after her own heart. She loved tiny things. She loved beautiful things. And she's like, I'm going to make this my best one ever.
Mhm.
I think only one other of her doll houses is still in existence. But this one, obviously, was the biggest one.
Oh my gosh. Hey, Christy.
So it's even more impressive. Here's a back picture of it. Um, when you realize the whole structure can be broken down into 200 individual pieces, because she did take it on tour.
Oh.
So this is a view of the Great Hall. I got more pictures coming up later, so don't worry.
Oh my gosh. But this is an awesome photo just to kind of get the idea of, the
Yeah, just
scale.
imagine yeah,
Mhm.
that's 9 feet wide.
Wow. The It's incredible.
So yeah, each one can be packed into drawers of special shipping crates she had designed so she could take it on tour. Um, so she's building this in the height of the Great Depression, and of course, she wanted to do what she could. So she, once it was finished, and that is why it was designed to come apart and store in special shipping containers so she could take it around the US to raise money for children's charities for kids affected by the Great Depression. And I think she made it stopped in most major cities, and it was exhibited in toy departments like Macy's, at the fair in Chicago. Um, and a brochure from the fair in Chicago says, "A museum in itself, it awaits you, starting November 15th in our 8th floor Toyland." And it is like, because the things she put in this are like exquisite, which again I will show you. But here again, you notice they gave her 2 brown eyes. You will see it. You want to see it again and again. But the tour raised over $650,000 between 1935 and 1939 that she donated to various charities. In 1949, she was on a train with Major Lennox Lore, director of the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago. And he asked her, if they could, this is how she described it, because she did write an autobiography as well. So she published 2 books.
Mhm.
She described their encounter. "When I was seated next to Major Lore at dinner recently on the director's coach at the Chicago Railroad Fair, he mentioned the dollhouse while we were having soup, and by the time dessert was served, he had the dollhouse. So he
Oh.
took the opportunity. He was like, your dollhouse would be great for our museum,"
Oh.
and made it happen. But it is estimated over 1.5 million visitors see the castle every year.
Wow.
So this is the kitchen.
Oh, look at the murals.
And the murals all depict various fairy tales.
Oh,
So, like, there's the grasshopper playing his fiddle.
uh-huh.
Um, I think there's the 3 little pigs,
Yeah, over the door.
and there's Jack Horner. Um, I have to bring up my notes because I didn't wanna, lose information on
Is
each room.
Yeah, is the kitchen are is that copper in the back?
Yeah, they're actual tiny copper pans.
Wow.
But do you see that dinner service?
Mhm.
It's a, exact replica of the dinner service in Queen Mary's dollhouse that I talked about before.
Uh-huh.
Um, well, if you look in the can we see inside the oven? Because inside the oven, they have a, pie that contains 420 blackbirds.
Oh,
The copper stove was built to design the one that the Wicked Witch used in Hansel and Gretel.
wow.
So, I mean, the fairy tale theme is fully represented
Mhm.
throughout. Let me see if I alright, we're halfway through. This is the chapel.
Oh my gosh.
It looks like a real chapel.
Holy
Well,
cow.
look at the pipe organ.
Is the floor painted or is that tile?
Yes.
Is that micro mosaic floor?
It is a mosaic tile floor, yes.
Oh my god.
So here's a close-up on the marble for the
Oh,
organ.
the organ has marble on it. Oh my gosh.
And then, yes, that is let me see if they say anything because sometimes they mention, like, the artisan who is responsible for various things. Now, you can find out even more information, on, the Museum of Science and Industry, but y'all, I wanna go to Chicago. I wanna see this.
Yeah.
It looks stunning. Um, on the prayer bench, there's 2 prayer benches, in front of the altar. One has, a Bible printed in 1840,
Oh my god.
and the other is an illustrated book of saints made through woodcuts.
Like like a mini illuminated
Yeah, but somebody,
mansion.
like, did tiny woodcuts in order to make this book for this castle.
Wow.
Isn't that
Catherine says she's gonna meet you there.
okay. We'll have to plan a Chicago trip. Bridget could meet up with us. You would not know it's a dollhouse. Like, this is on the level of the Queen Mary dollhouse, in my opinion.
Mhm.
But even better because it's a castle.
Even better, exactly.
So, let's move on to the dining room.
Oh. Oh my god.
It's King Arthur's Round Table.
Little
Look
mini
at the hutch.
little mini tapestries.
Look at the hutch. Do you see the hutch?
Oh my gosh.
I really have to give you some detail on the dining room because, buddy, let me tell you. So the tapestries are illustrating all of the Knights of the Round Table because this is like a King Arthur theme in the dining hall.
Good question. Jennifer just said, "I wonder what her real house looked like."
Well, the interior designer that did her mansion is the one who was involved in the castle. So, but so these are handmade petty point tapestries
Oh my
in
god.
Vienna.
Oh my gosh.
You can't tell that you have to have a magnifying glass in order to see the stitches.
Oh my gosh.
It looks like a micro petty point.
Wow.
I know.
Uh, it's astounding, really.
Oh, astounding. Like, the work. I just can't. Oh, as somebody who makes tiny things, but not even this tiny. Like, I don't know. My tiny sleeping giraffe was the height of my tiny, I think.
Oh, Gavin, I wish, but Scott's not a builder.
No, Bob's the builder. Cheesy joke. And then we move on to Cinderella's drawing room.
That's beautiful too.
Isn't it so look at that. Look at the fireplace.
I'm looking at the chandelier,
I mean,
the archway, like
now I did get close-ups when and where I could, but do you see there's a tiny chess set with all the pieces
oh, I do, right in front of the fireplace.
right in front of the fireplace.
Wow.
But yeah, I do have some close-ups of some things. Like, look
Ooh.
at the scene on the harpsichord.
Look it! Holy crap, just that piano
Mhm.
is gotta be worth hundreds of thousands of
Now,
dollars
is
now.
that a harpsichord or a pianoforte? It might be a pianoforte. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It's gorgeous.
It is gorgeous.
And then on the right, so for scale, I did find like, but look, there's Cinderella running away. That's like one of the murals on the wall.
Mhm, mhm.
Um, and that chair, so for scale, is 3 inches tall. So if you're trying to figure out,
Uh, so about like that?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's big, like, when you look at this picture, you think it's smaller.
yeah, but still. So the mural on the wall was painted by an LA artist, George Townsend Cole. There are vases at the foot of the stairs carved from amber that are over 500 years old and originate from the Dowager Empress of China's collection.
Wow.
The bejeweled chandelier was designed by Beverly Hills jewelry designer H.B. Crouch. I don't know who that is, but if you're a jewelry person, look out for H.B. Crouch.
I guess so.
But Just, like, look at the mural.
Yeah,
Like, oh. Mm.
it
Hmm.
it's beautiful.
And now we move to the library, which has an under
Wow.
the sea theme.
Oh, okay, I was wondering what this was depicting. So it's not night, it's under the sea.
Mhm. Under the sea. Sorry, demonetize myself. I'm not monetized, I don't care. But there's some facts about this. Now, remember when I, showed you that tiny library that had all the, like, handwritten books and stuff?
I think so.
Well, um well, if you wanna look, okay, it's talking about over the fireplace stands, Captain Kidd with his treasure. On the right-hand door, is Robinson Crusoe with Friday. On the left-hand door is Gulliver pulling the Lilliputian ships through the city.
Oh, wow.
And oh, oh, this is so great. Okay. Do you see the chair in the front that so all of the bases of the tables and chairs are like snails and underwater creatures.
Oh.
And there's a chair that looks like it's like the back is down and the feet are higher. That's because one of the fairies likes to read with her feet up.
Oh, so she has a backstory of the fairies who live in her castle?
Uh-huh. And she
Oh,
had the furniture created for the fairies.
wow.
So
I'm surprised there isn't, like, a children's book to go with this.
I feel like there probably was. There are books about the house in
Mhm.
general, but if I mean, you could have a whole series of the life of the fairies that are
Right. I mean, if she
inhabiting.
created specific fairy characters for this castle,
Yeah.
it would be interesting to, like, read about them.
I think I have a close up of the art over the fireplace. Yeah, so there's Captain Kidd, and then you can see all the ships and stuff in the murals behind him. But in the library, there's over 100 miniature books, and most of them were handwritten by renowned 20th century authors. So crazy. Now
Wow.
look at the princess's bathroom.
Is that stainless steel?
It's some kind of metal. I don't know if it said what the metal was made of, but look, the water is coming out of the mouths of 2 dolphins
Oh my
being ridden by
god.
cupids.
Holy cow.
And then there's
Yeah, it's kind of a marvel, and it is a good thing that it went to Chicago because if this had stayed in private hands,
yeah,
you
it pieces would have been but even though it went to the museum, she continued to travel, get new miniatures, and add them to
okay.
the castle's collection. So she was, prote protecting the fairies' inheritance.
Mhm.
Yes. Um, no, so it's made of silver.
Sterling?
Mhm.
You're kidding.
Nope, that's what it says on their website.
Oh my god.
So,
Oh my
okay,
god.
oh, I didn't even realize this. The walls, they're not painted. The walls are crystal, and they're etched
What?
with the tail of Undine, a
Hey,
water spirit.
Kara. We're looking at the most amazing castle dollhouse that exists.
Like, I heard somebody say about, like, the most amazing castles in the US, and they're talking about real castles. I'm like, "No, This is the most amazing castle in the US,
Yeah.
okay? And y'all could go see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so no, the walls are crystal and they're etched. And then all the ornaments are made of silver. So this is on display at the Museum of Science and Industry in Chicago. It keeps getting better. Just you wait. All right. This is the princess's bedroom.
Oh.
Lovely.
Yes.
I read one fact that the light bulbs in this are the size of a grain of rice in the chandeliers.
Oh my gosh. Look at the little chairs. They look like little pieces of jewelry, like little shoe clip backs.
But they're probably made by a jeweler
Yeah.
that she was friends with. She probably helped them in the stock market and they owed her a favor. But so the bed is supposed to be reminiscent of the bed used by Sleeping Beauty for a century. So it's supposed to be Sleeping
Wow.
Beauty's bed. Oh, Amy went.
I know. We all need a field trip.
No, look at these hand painted porcelain chairs.
Oh, what? They're exquisite.
Yeah. Now look at the bedspread on the bed.
Oh my gosh, it's a spider web. Oh, Catherine,
It's supposed to be the golden spider's web.
look at the bed. Oh my gosh.
And the little instruments that are strewn about because they wanted to look like a fairy had just been in the room and finished whatever they were doing and
Uh-huh.
just went to another room.
Set the instrument down and
Yeah.
left. Yeah.
And look at the shoes. Do you see the shoes on the step?
I do see little gold shoes.
I think there's red shoes too.
Oh, okay.
And I think I know that's a fairy tale reference as well. Okay. Here's the prince's bedroom. That's real bear making that bear rug. Like, look at the Mongolian slippers there at the foot of the bed.
Yeah, those are very detailed.
Like everything. I don't
Oh,
see.
the bedspread is fantastic.
I think I have another view of it. If you look on the bed, I think it's the tail of Excalibur. But, oh, here's a view. Look at the ceiling.
Wow.
Look at that carved cabinet.
Oh my god.
And then Excalibur the sword is in there somewhere as well. Oh, I think it's leaning against the wall.
Wow.
Okay. So the room, it's a Russian fairy tale in this room. The legend of little Tsar Sultan.
Little Tsar Sultan?
That's Sultar is what it says.
Sultan.
I think it might be Sultan in Russian, but that's the story for this one. Next is the prince's bathroom. Yeah, you know fairy princes, Catherine. So careless.
Boys will be boys.
That's how King Arthur got it, right? Somebody left it in the wrong rock. But I think this is carved from a rare material. Of course. Oh, alabaster. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And real gold accoutrement.
Like solid gold?
Uh-huh. The mirror over the shell basin is, gold, and it's set with jewels, and a lot of the jewels used, in a few different places, she, like, gave people jewels from her brooches to use.
Oh my gosh.
Hmm. There's an attic with just, whatever would normally end up in an attic.
Mhm.
Travel trunks, like a
Yeah,
dried wreath. I thought that was an adorable addition.
yes.
And finally, we have the enchanted magic garden.
Oh.
I do believe do you see the, characters on the wall on the left? Like, you can kinda tell that there's something carved there.
Yes,
Um,
yeah.
it's the story of the Wizard of Oz.
Oh. I mean, I know there's a lot of amazing miniatures made now, but when you think about when this piece was made, this was beyond, I think, most people's even imagination to achieve something this amazing in the '40s.
Oh, no, we still have the Great Hall. So we're in the Magic Garden. Do you see the light coming through? Um, it looks like panels
Mhm.
in the middle back.
Like the light is shining through panels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is stained glass in the Great Hall. You can see it in the back there.
Look at the stained glass. Oh my god.
Now, fairies don't have to worry about falling from stairs, so there's no handrails.
Got it.
They got their wings to keep them steady.
Oh my goodness.
Look at the ceiling. Look at the figures on the
Yeah.
ceiling.
Yes. I see them.
Let me see.
Those are amazing.
And the stained glass was outside above the Great Hall. Oh, I don't think it talks about the stained glass. Oh, there. So the ceiling is painted with scenes from all kinds of fairy tales. Um, the knights flanking the door came from a Valentino's collection, Rudolph Valentino,
Oh,
the
wow.
actor. The tall glass windows are etched to depict Jack and the Beanstalk and the Princess and the Seven Swans.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's not stained glass, it's etched glass like up in the
Okay.
bathroom.
But it's beautiful. The
It's
etching on it
gorgeous.
is gorgeous. The beanstalk is beautiful.
See, there's glass slippers in there. There's tiny red, oh, it's underneath a bell jar. I don't know if I got
Hi,
close-ups of the
Gavin.
Great Hall. Thanks, Gavin. But if you look, do you see the cloche on the little pedestal in the very front?
I do, near the it's like red velvet
Yeah,
rope.
so the roped off are treasures from Fairyland. So
Oh.
they're, like, on display but protected. So the
Mhm.
cloche contains, Cinderella's glass slippers. Um, what are some of the other ones? The tiny chairs of the 3 bears. Um,
Wow.
then let's see what else. And then the other items in the Great Hall are just very, very old. There's Isis statues, which are over more than 4,000 years old. There's a bust of a woman on a green pedestal that came from ancient Rome. Um, in the center of the Great Hall is a nest with the golden eggs in it.
Wait a minute.
Um,
Where's the nest?
I wish I could. So you see the statue like kind of in the center lining up with that pole? Like in
Yes.
front of her, there's 2 pedestals, and one of them contains the
Oh,
nest with the golden eggs.
okay.
I just wanna go. I just wanna go. I just wanna say this is the fairy tale equivalent of the museum I went to in Boston, you know? The woman's house with all these treasures from her entire, like,
Mhm.
existence of glorious travel. But this one,
Hey,
it's like
Julie.
that, but for but for fairies.
Yeah.
And that's all I have to share.
It
But, it
I
was
mean, I'm
most of the articles I found on it were from 2015 because they, did a restoration on it. Like, they took it down, they did cleaning, they restored everything, and, the restoration cost $200,000 in 2015. There is there's a number of videos on their website, but the one I'm going to share is a quick 2.5 minute time lapse of them putting it back together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's very cool. So, if you wanna dig into that, if you just want more information on the exhibit, let's see, the Museum of Science and Industry, plus there's more details about Colleen, the lovely creator, and you can find out when you can go and visit if you happen to be in Chicago.
Wow.
So I have to thank my friend Barb. She's the one she found one of the articles and sent it to me, and it just had a couple pictures. I was like, "Oh, that seems interesting. That would be a fun history highlight." And then then I started reading about Colleen and what she did, and then of course I saw the castle, and I was like, "Oh, to be independently wealthy."
Right. Yeah, it's one of those things that you would think a story like that would be better known. Like, you'd think that, like, a lot of us would already know who this calling person is and
That's like
know
an awesome movie to
know
me.
about her castle, know about the tour it took and, how
Like,
she was
I wanna know about all the
leading
artisans.
the
I
charity.
wanna know where she went.
Yeah.
I wanna read her book now. Not the one on the stock market because I don't have money to invest, but her autobiography would be great.
Mhm.
I wanna say that her autobiography is called Silent Star.
Mhm.
Um, let me not lie to you.
Julie, you have to go back and
Yeah,
watch this history highlight. This castle is amazing.
yeah. Silent Star, by herself, Colleen Moore. So, I would love also because obviously, she was a contemporary of F. Scott Fitzgerald, so just imagine being a star at that time,
I
and she didn't lose her head and, like, spend all her
know.
money on drugs, and here's Mr. Malcolm in his sassy pants.
Mhm.
But she was fascinating, and I'd like to learn more about her, so,
Mhm.
um, yeah, if you have been to this in Chicago, please let me know in the comments. Um, did you wanna shrink yourself down? Now this is what I'd been shrunk down for. I'm like, "Listen, if you wanna save
Completely.
space,
Yeah. I mean,
give me the fairy tale
just
castle, please."
just to go sit in that sterling silver tub would be worth getting shrunken down for.
I need a tub. My tub is so sad. So fantastic. But I actually timed that about right.
It's
Imagine that.
perfect. Yes, perfect timing. Yay!
So, I'm glad y'all, indulge my flights of fancy, which this
Eh,
definitely was.
yes, and I think anybody who lives in that area is now
We should go
definitely
for
gonna
sure.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, even I mean, I'm on miniature groups, and I've never seen them talking about it. I was like, "Do y'all not know?
Yeah.
Do y'all not know?" Well, you wouldn't think. You would think it'd be in a miniatures museum, not the Museum
Mhm,
of Science and Industry. But
mhm.
then if you think about the work, because I believe they used aluminum for the bulk of it, so it wouldn't be extremely heavy.
Heavy.
Yeah, for,
Okay.
like, the exterior and
Well,
supports.
that's amazing if it's aluminum because I would have sworn that those murals were being painted on plaster walls. You know?
Yeah, so but there are books about did you see him?
No. What's he doing? Oh, is he tapping the lamp to get your
You
attention?
see him? Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I've taken away his main source of attention getting, so
Yeah.
he's back to the lamp.
He's back.
Fine, I'll take the lamp. Um, but
Wow.
yeah, like, the art in the tapestries, the mosaics, I mean, jewelers had to make the metal things
Yeah.
because regular metal smiths probably can't work at that scale.
Yes.
Anyway, I'll stop raving about it.
I
That
know.
just made me happy.
I mean, literally, like what Amy said, speechless. It's just it's
But d
incredible. It's
now
incredible.
now do you understand, like, why I said the fairies were speaking to me? Because
Mhm.
I've I found the fairy glasses that I got at the flea market last Sunday. I
Mhm.
think later that afternoon, Barb sent me the link,
Yeah.
and I was like and there was something else that came up in my life
Well,
about
I had
fairies.
picked a tablescape and you're like, "Are those
Oh,
fairies?"
shoot. Yeah, that was the 3rd thing, and then I was like, "Yeah, I have to do it." When
Yeah,
when the
that
fae
was
tell
great.
you to do something, you don't say no.
No. I'm so
Mhm.
glad you leaned in and did the extra mile and gave us the backstory
Yeah,
of
she was great.
Colleen. It all made the story even better, so
Yeah.
it was great. Yay.
All right, everybody. We kept you a little bit over, but I hope
Yeah.
you had a fantastic time listening and learning about Colleen more. And if you get to see the castle, let me know.
Yeah.
Tammy, you can go back and watch.
Oh, Tammy, you're
It's
gonna
lots
love
of
it.
fun.
You're gonna love it. Rewatch, rewatch.
Yeah. I think you'll enjoy it for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
You'll have a sale on Sunday?
I will have a sale on Sunday.
Okay.
Um, yes. Yep, I will. Yep.
But you know what next Saturday is, y'all?
What is next Saturday?
It's only my second favorite holiday. Star Wars Day. May the 4th.
Oh, okay. So not this Saturday, the next Saturday.
The next Saturday. Am I'm so next Saturday. I don't know what day it is. I was thinking May the 4th was this Saturday. It's next Saturday.
Yeah.
Catherine's got me. It's fine. I've been with the fairies, everybody, okay?
It's all right. It's all right. This
Okay.
was amazing. So much fun. I hope all of you guys have a great rest of your night wherever you go. There is a lot happening here in
Mhm.
YouTube world. So we have lots
You
of
know,
friends.
out in the
Lots
real
of friends
world
to go
too.
see. Go see Jason. Go see Scott and Patrick. Go see Yvonne. Go see
I
everyone
don't know if
else.
Mia's on tonight, but
I don't know.
wherever the fae take you,
Wherever they take you.
may it be a happy journey.
Yep. Bye, guys. This was so fun.